So basically, there was this painting we had with a lighthouse, and I swear it would move if you looked at it. I froze and listened because I had never told anyone about the painting, about what I'd seen. But my sister was describing it exactly. The same painting, the same movement, the same thing I thought I'd imagined. I'm Alvin, and this is Common Ground Horror. I've mentioned this before in some Ask Reddit posts, and I'm now gonna share it here. As a child, I was surrounded by religion. Although I didn't entirely understand the complexity of it, I knew of ghosts and goblins and things that go bump in the night. Having two older brothers who loved horror movies didn't help. They loved creeping the hell out of their younger siblings, and they were good at it. That pushed me into the macabre and terrifying at a very early age. But this was different. This wasn't a movie. This wasn't my brothers trying to scare me. This was something out of normalcy, outside of rationality. We had this painting, a painting of a lighthouse, on a small island, with an overlooking cliff in the foreground. There were fog clouds over the top, but not so much as to obscure the stereotypical red spiral of the lighthouse itself. The cliffs were an amber color, almost like a grassy field in the late evening. This painting would become the object of my childhood attachment to something. I don't know why, but I was drawn to it. I would stare at it for long periods of time. And the thing was, I swear up and down this is true, because deep down it has to be, that if you stared at this painting, the sea would spray ever so slightly, or the clouds would move across the page, animated, for fractions of a moment, before settling back down to its original orientation. I know how that sounds. I know. But I saw it. Multiple times. The waves, the clouds, moving, like the painting was alive. Eventually, things started to occur in our home. Call it an overactive child's imagination, but I'm going to explain it how I remember. I distinctively remember a deep, deep voice. Think of one of those voice-changing apps that overbass your voice. That deep. Sometimes I wouldn't understand it. The words were too garbled, too distorted. Other times, it would tell me mundane things. One time, I could vividly make out instructions on how to tie my shoes. I remember standing there, looking down the hallway to my parents' room, waiting for whoever said that to reveal themselves. But no one came. No one was there. The strangest thing was that I never felt fear. Not at the time. I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, so I should have known something was wrong. But it didn't catch up to me until my late teens, for reasons I'll get to later. At the time, I just accepted it like it was normal. Like having a deep, disembodied voice tell you how to tie your shoes was just a part of life. The dreams I would have in that house were wild as well. The closet held an enigmatic grip on my mind, seeming to be infinite in the darkness. I would lie in bed and stare at the closet, and it felt like it went on forever. Like if you walked into it, you'd never come out. The hallway door always seemed to be cracked open at night, despite my parents always making sure we closed it. Every night, they'd close it. And every night, I'd wake up. And it would be cracked open. Just a little. Just enough to see the darkness of the hallway beyond. My brother was too young to use the bathroom himself, and my sister would wet the bed. Sorry, sis, but it's an important point. Because she was afraid to get up at night. Afraid to walk down that hallway. Afraid of what might be out there. I also remember never wanting to look in the mirror at night, although that could be attributed to that Bloody Mary craze that shook every elementary school at the time. But still, I avoided mirrors, avoided reflections, especially at night. Unfortunately, dear viewer, that was my extent of paranormal attachment to that house. And moreover, that painting. We moved when I was in middle school, and I didn't think about it much after that. Life went on. I grew up, joined the military, went to basic training, and came back. I never told anyone about the painting, about the voice, about the closet or the door that wouldn't stay closed. It just seemed like kid stuff. Stuff that didn't matter anymore. Stuff I'd probably imagined anyway. That is, until one night. My sister, my buddy Jacob, and I were staying up late, watching scary YouTube videos. Shout out to Chills. We were in that mood. You know the one. Late at night, lights off, trying to creep each other out. I had never disclosed the above to anyone. Not in any capacity. Not to my parents. Not to my friends. Not to anyone. So, what I was about to hear shook me to my core. In a way I didn't know you could be afraid. The stereotypical hair standing on end. Tears filling your eyes. And going completely catatonic. We were talking about scary things that had happened to us. My buddy Jacob was telling a story about a time he and a mutual friend of ours went to a graveyard and swore they saw something scurrying around. That wasn't a dog or a raccoon. Something else. I told of the time I was out during an orienteering trip in high school, and I came to a clearing, alone, to see a large wolf staring right at me. And it continued to stare as I kept facing it, as I passed, never breaking eye contact. Then, my sister's turn came up. So basically, there was this painting we had with a lighthouse, and I swear it would move if you looked at it. I froze and listened. She went on about how she would hear a voice, but it was bitter and angry. Not like the voice I heard. Hers was different, malevolent. At night, she would see someone peering through that cracked door, the hallway door, the one that wouldn't stay closed. She saw something, someone looking in. She would have dreams of large eyes staring from the closet at us in the room, watching, always watching. One dream she had was that there was an extra door in the hallway, and she opened it to reveal a deep basement. As she descended down, it became more grimy, with leaves and dirt covering the steps. Then, this 5-year-old girl turned to see a couch littered with mutilated women with "You're next" written in blood. Again, this could be an overactive child's imagination, or something more. But she was 5 years old, having dreams like that. It was after that she noticed I was very upset, to the point of tears. Her brother, who had recently gotten back from basic training not too long ago, reduced to a teary-eyed wreck. She asked what was wrong, and I explained my half on how the absurdity of it, that not just one of us, but both of us experiencing the same thing, although in different ways, was mind-blowing. I consider myself a religious man to this day, and I don't want to know exactly what it was we experienced. I prefer to be ignorant. Some things are better left unexplained. Some things you don't want to understand. To this day, recalling these events still causes my hair to stand and my eyes to water. It's a type of fear you can't get from a horror movie or a game. It's real. It's visceral. It stays with you. Because it wasn't just me. If it was just me, I could have written it off as imagination, as a kid who watched too many horror movies. But it wasn't just me. My sister experienced it too. Different aspects, different manifestations, but the same source, the same painting, the same house, the same presence. She heard the voice, angry and bitter. I heard it too, but mine was calm, teaching, almost protective? I don't know. But it was the same voice, just speaking to us differently. She said she saw someone at the door. I felt the closet watching. We both knew the door wouldn't stay closed. We both feared the hallway at night. We both saw the painting move. And we never told each other. Not for years. Not until that night, when it all came spilling out. And we realized we weren't alone in what we experienced. We weren't crazy. It was real. I think about that painting sometimes. Where it is now, who has it, if it's still moving, if the sea still sprays, if the clouds still drift. I think about the voice, what it was, why it spoke to me, why it taught me things, why it was different with my sister, angry with her, but calm with me. I think about the closet, the door, the basement that didn't exist, the women on the couch, the "you're next." And I wonder if we got out in time, or if whatever was in that house is still with us in some way, following, watching, waiting. Because sometimes, late at night, I still feel it. That presence. Like something's watching from the darkness. Like a door I closed is cracked open. Like the closet goes on forever. And I have to remind myself, we don't live there anymore. We left that house. We left that painting. We left whatever was there behind. But did it leave us? I don't know. And honestly, I don't want to find out. If you've ever had a childhood experience that you thought was just your imagination until someone else confirmed it, you know this fear, this realization that it was real, that you weren't making it up. And that's somehow worse than never knowing. Because ignorance sometimes is bliss. And knowledge. Knowledge of what lurked in your childhood home. Knowledge that it was real. That it affected multiple people. That's a weight you carry forever. So to anyone who has that painting, that lighthouse, the one with the moving sea and drifting clouds, I hope you got rid of it. I hope you're safe. Because whatever that thing was, it wasn't just art. It was a window or a door to something else. Something that shouldn't be here. And to my sister, the one who went through this with me, without either of us knowing, I'm glad we finally talked about it, even if it scared the hell out of both of us. At least we know we weren't alone. We weren't crazy. It was real. And we survived it. If you've lived through a nightmare you can't explain, I want to hear it. Send your stories to commongroundhorror@gmail.com to be featured on the channel. This has been Alvin for Common Ground Horror. Until next time, sleep well, if you can.